which would prevent me from attacking. Now, here's a blue flare. I'm down 3 prizes at this point, but the prize count isn't really what matters in this game. What matters is getting my lock set up. Now, I put a double colorless on the Reshiram. Might seem silly because, you know, it only costs 2 fire and a colorless, but like I said, I need to preserve the rainbows and the fires. That way, if he discards them with Flare Destroy, I'll be able to keep using Bursting Inferno with Suicune Entei Legend, keep knocking things out, and eventually I'll be able to win the game. So this is going to be the big turn. I blue flare for a prize, and hope for a rare candy, and wait for it. There it is. So I get a rare candy. Now the other part of this is, if he has a catcher and knocks out my Oddish, none of this matters. I still lose the game. So this turn I'm just hoping, praying he does not catcher the Oddish. Maybe he doesn't realize I've taken a prize. Maybe he thinks the game's over and doesn't consider the option that I've actually gotten what I needed out of my prize. So I'm just going to pray that my Oddish lives through this turn, and in that case, I can lock him, and then I'll have a little bit of time to power up the Suicune Entei Legend, but it's still going to be a struggle. I don't have a whole lot of time because he's already down to 3 prizes. I need to attach 3 energy to this thing in order to attack, and it looks like he's getting a plus power. So he might just go ahead and blue flare my Reshiram for a knockout. I'm very fortunate at this point that he didn't Junk Arm for catcher and knock out the Oddish. This would have completely knocked me out of the game. No question about it. I just would have been dead. So, looks like he actually didn't play the plus power. If I see that correctly. Which is a little strange. But, looks like I should be okay, because I didn't see him grab that catcher. So it's not on his mind to knock out this Oddish. And yeah, he actually forgot to play the plus power, which was a little oopsie on his part, but he lets the Oddish live, which is his biggest blunder in this game. So I'm going to be able to communication this turn for a Vileplume, and there we go. Thankfully both of those aren't prized too. That would have been a nightmare. So I get the Vileplume, rare candy for it, and now I've established my lock with Reuniclus and Vileplume. At this point, he can no longer knock out my Pokemon in one hit. He's going to have to just keep hitting me and hope the damage piles up on my board, which really isn't going to happen. I have giant Pokemon like Zekrom. The Suicune Entei Legend has a lot of hit points. Eventually I'll have Blissey Prime as well. I have Seeker to remove damage off the field. And it's just not going to happen. Once you establish this lock, there's not much a Typhlosion Reshiram can do besides discard your energy with Flare Destroy and hope you run out. That's just the strength of this deck. It really has a very good matchup against anything that can't knock you out in one hit, because eventually you just overpower your opponent, you move all the damage off, and that's it. This is how Ross got all the way to 2nd place at Worlds. He just realized that if you establish this lock, there's nothing your opponent can do about it. It's very strong. It takes forever to get going, but once it gets going, you can actually close a prize deficit like this one, where I was down 2 or 3 prizes, and you can just steamroll your opponent once you get everything out. So we're going to see. He decides to discard my energy using Typhlosion. I don't really mind this, because I'm only focused on powering up the Suicune Entei Legend. That's what's going to sweep through him at the end of this game. Once it gets active, shouldn't be able to surrender any more prizes unless he puts down some surprise card like a lightning Pokemon that I didn't know about, or a water Pokemon as well, or something really strange. Can't even think of something that would come up, but the only way I'm going to win is if he can knock out that Suicune Entei Legend in one hit, or somehow hit my bench, which normally Typhlosion Reshiram decks don't run any of the above. So I'm feeling very safe at this point that I'll be able to come back. I move the damage off my Reshiram to buy more time to power up the Suicune Entei Legend. And once I have enough energy and I feel safe enough, then I'll just go ahead and attack. And I'll keep attacking until I win the game, probably. So, he's probably wondering, how do I get out of this now? And, well, there's no good answer for it. Once you get in this point, you really just need to conserve Typhlosion. You need to make sure Typhlosion isn't the first thing that gets knocked out, because you want to Flare Destroy as many times as you can. Keep discarding those rainbows and those fires. Hopefully I'll run out. And if I do run out, then I just can't attack you anymore, and I'm going to lose the game. But he decides to attack me with Flare Destroy again, and I kind of see this as my opportunity to strike. I want to get rid of this Typhlosion now, but I actually think about it for a while. Maybe I want to hold on until I have a few more energy. That way I'm safe, but it's a tough decision. Now, when I want to attack, I'm going to be knocking out my own active Pokemon with Damage Swap, so I don't burn energy to retreat. Like I said, once I get the lock, he's not going to take another prize. So if I can just move damage and knock out my Pokemon instead of retreating, that's fine. I actually want him to get down to 1 prize. That way, it eliminates a strange black belt possibility of a knockout. If I get down to 1 prize versus 2, he could play a black belt and blue flare me for 160 damage, which would be pretty bad. Okay, so now I've moved 120 damage onto my Reshiram, and I'll move 10 more to knock him out. That way I don't have to pay to retreat. And now I have the Suicune Entei Legend with 3 energy on it. Gonna bench Chansey and Zekrom, just because they're big Pokemon that can soak up a lot of damage. I have to actually debate whether or not to copycat here, because I'm gonna need energy. He's gonna discard them with Flare Destroy probably, but I actually decide to hold on to it. Take the knockout with Bursting Inferno. Reason being, I'll actually have a better chance next turn to copycat, just because he's getting so many cards back in his hand with the Rescue Energy. So unless he plays an Oak's New Theory or something like that, the copycat will actually net me more if I just wait a turn. I guess he could also Eek. Didn't think about that one, but I feel like he makes a strange decision here. He's attacking into me with Reshiram, which probably isn't the best option. He should really be trying to discard my energy and really just make me run out. That way I can't attack him. Because attacking with Blue Flare over and over, that's not going to get him anywhere. It's just going to move the damage off, and eventually I'll heal it off, and he'll be back at square one with me taking a lot of knockouts in the process. So I'm just going to move this damage off my active Pokemon. Okay, so now all the damage is moved off my active Pokemon, and I'll be able to Bursting Inferno for another knockout. All of his Pokemon are weak to water, so 80 times 2, easy knockout. At this point, I have another energy waiting in my hand, so if he Flare Destroys me, I'll be able to get a knockout, no problem. And, you know, the double colorless is nice because it can trick your opponent, sort of. If you play a double colorless, sometimes they're inclined to discard that energy, when really they should be going for your colored energy. You have 4 double colorless, you have plenty of other energy. What you don't have a lot of is fire energy. And this is what you need to attack with the Suicune Entei Legend. If you can't attack with that, you're gonna eventually lose the game. Because if you take 120 a turn using these other Pokemon, eventually the damage is just gonna build up on your field and you will lose. So, it's something to be wary of. Now, this turn, I debate attaching the double colorless somewhere. I'm not too sure. I'm afraid I'm gonna run out of fire energy if he keeps using Flare Destroy. But I'm not sure. So I do attach to Zekrom, and I don't know if I should have done that, but that's what I decided to do this turn. Okay, I actually take it back, which is the right decision. I want to hold on to the energy as long as possible. I want to see if he does decide to discard from my active, and if he does, I don't want to get caught in a spot where I can't do anything. So he eked, he woke up, so I knocked out the Cleffa, and now at this point, it's pretty much over. He could Flare Destroy twice, but that's fine. I'll have enough energy if I just attach the double colorless to knock out 2 straight Pokemon. So he is completely locked at this point. There's no way he can win the game unless he has something that hits my bench, or unless he has something that can just knock me out of nowhere. There are certain cards like Pikachu from Black and White, does 80 damage, I'm weak to lightning, that could knock me out. Basculin from Emerging Powers, water Pokemon, does 80 damage, that would knock me out. These are really the only things he could surprise me with. And I don't think he runs those, because most Typhlosion decks don't really run those. And now, once again, I'll move the damage off my Pokemon. Okay, and now that all the damage is off, I could play a Blissey Prime this turn. I also have a Twin, so I might as well use that while I still can, just to grab some more energy. Play the Blissey Prime, use Blissful Nurse, heals off damage from all of your Pokemon, and you actually just move the damage to the Pokemon without energy. That way you don't have to discard the energy, and you have more damage. You have more hit points on your Pokemon to move the damage somewhere else off your active. I knock out the Reshiram, and at this point, he can see there's no way out. It has 4 energy, 3 of them count as fire. It's just game over pretty much. There's nothing he can do here. He can discard an energy, but then I just knock him out. And that's going to be the game. So, I mean, really strange game. I really thought I would lose this game right at the beginning. Well, not until I played the Twins. But, great game, very close. It really came down to getting that rare candy out of the prize. Just a few lessons to take away from this game. Number 1 would be, always check to see what's prized. You don't want to be surprised in the middle of the game when you go to check your deck for something and the card you're looking for wasn't there. That's always a bad feeling. Another thing is, don't get freaked out when stuff is prized. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, but sometimes you can do something about it. You just have to think in creative ways on how to get yourself out of these situations. How exactly can you work your way out of these sticky situations? I see a lot of people freak out when things don't go perfectly. They don't think clearly. They kind of go on tilt, we call it. And you just got to make sure to keep a clear head. Always consider all of your options. And don't just think the game's over until it actually is over. Third thing I want to say is never give up unless you've seen the game is completely over. I see a lot of people just kind of concede when they don't have to. Normally in this format, games can be pretty straightforward. You can just tell when you're going to lose, but a lot of the time people just don't think about ways to come back. They don't think they can come back. So they kind of give up. So this is just kind of a message to think about the game. Don't give up too soon. Just remember to keep a clear head, play smart, and that's about it. So thank you for watching. Hopefully this was an entertaining game. Please stay tuned for other stuff we have coming. I have a lot more games I'm going to upload with commentary, so pay attention to that. Other than that, leave me some feedback in the comments, and I'll get back to you. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to respond to them. And thanks for watching. This has been Pooka, and I'll see you guys next time.